Ladies and gentlemen, we meet again towards Parashat Balak. Very interesting, short and sweet, very relevant issues in this week's parasha. It seems like a war of words. A war of words. Balak is terrified that Am Yisrael is, after it captured Sichon and Og, big and strong kings that are next to him. And there he's next in line, and he's very frightened, so he wants to look for non-conventional warfare. So he wants to get them cursed, put upon them a spell, put upon them certain words, and these words will infiltrate and cause damage to Am Yisrael, and that we won't be able to conquer Moab. So he brings the biggest person, the greatest person, the most spiritual person he knows, who can give a curse. How come Bil'am is known as such a spiritual person? The Midrash tells us that the Gentiles of the world said to Hashem, "Look, you gave Am Yisrael Moshe Rabbeinu, such a great prophet. If you'd have given us such a great prophet, we would have also done the right thing." And HaKadosh Baruch Hu answers them, "I gave you such a big prophet." Bil'am was a great prophet on the level of Moshe Rabbeinu. So if Bil'am was on the level of Moshe Rabbeinu, where did Bil'am go wrong? What was the problem with Bil'am? He wanted to use words that will cause damage to Am Yisrael. It is so relevant. People who are putting words into the ears of millions around the world, words like genocide, like racism, like apartheid, they're planting these words in people's brain, and people, according to that, change their attitude, and according to that, change their behavior. And before you know it, the whole world is against the Jews and against Israel. But it's because of poisonous words that are not true at all. They're not true at all, but people are not looking for truth. People are looking to see what does everybody talk about. And that is this is the essence of what it seems to be the confrontation of Bil'am giving curses to Am Yisrael. But let's look a bit deeper and see, where did he fail? In what way do we see him as a negative person throughout centuries? And in what way did he fail? In what way was he different to Moshe? So the Mishnah in Avot chapter 5, Mishnah 19, tells us that whoever has these three values is of the disciples of Avraham Avinu, and whoever has these other three values, he is of disciples of Bilam the wicked. So this is coming to teach us that it's not actually at the base, it is not a war of words, it's a war of values. So let's see which values Avraham portrays in the world and which values Bil'am portrays in the world. So if we go into this, and I continue the Mishnah, and it says, a good eye, a humble spirit, and a moderate appetite is of the disciples of Avraham Avinu, and an evil eye, a haughty spirit, and a limitless appetite is of disciples of Bil'am. Now that is very interesting. Let's look at this for a moment and try and understand it through the eyes of yet another Mishnah in Avot, chapter 4, Mishnah Kaf Aleph, which says, which means envy, lust, and the desire for honor causes us to lose this world. We just go through the world and we just lose opportunities. We're not happy in this world and we don't get any of next world. We just waste our life. You can waste your life running after envy, being envy of this, envy of that, and envy of this, and envy of that. You can waste your life being lustful about this and lustful about that. And all the times a person is running after their lust. And it could be through honor. I didn't get enough honor. I want more honor. And people run after their own honor. And this way they waste their life. But on a very high level, if we look at Bil'am, that's what Bil'am was doing. Bil'am had an ayin ra'ah. Ayin ra'ah means greedy, which means to be jealous of everybody, to jealous of this, jealous of that, jealous. He has this money and he has that house and he has that car. And the second one is tava, which is nefesh rachava. That means he doesn't know, he's never satisfied. He always wants more money and more money, and he wants more physical satisfaction with food and with sex and with whatever it might be. He has unlimited, he never gets to his satisfaction. And the third one is kavod. That means he's always looking for more honor and more respect, and is all the time preoccupied with being haughty and being putting down other people and showing how important he is. These are the Talmidim, these are the disciples of Bilam. On the other hand, the disciples of Avraham Avinu, exactly the opposite. They don't have kinah. What is the opposite of kinah? Is ayin tova. Ayin tova means they've got a good eye, which means that we're happy with what we have. We're happy with what other people have. We're not greedy. We're satisfied. It says also in Avot, who is rich? A person who is satisfied with what he has. A person who is satisfied with what he has is rich because he doesn't have to run. He's not all the time disturbed and running after other further physical possessions. And then we have nefesh shfela, which means a person who is a disciple of Avraham Avinu hasn't got ta'ava, is not washed away with running after their appetite. They've got a moderate appetite. And the third issue is kavod, which means ruach nemucha. They're not running after their own prestige. They have humility. They're humble. And these are the three components where Bilam failed. He might have been a great prophet, but he failed on the level of values. He was invested in the wrong values, in the opposite of values. And a person who is invested in the opposite values, what does he bring to the world? He brings a curse to the world. That's why Balak went to him. I want a curse from you because you know how to bring a curse in the world. And on the other flip side of that, Avraham Avinu, what is Avraham Avinu's role in the world? The first time HaKadosh spoke to him in Parshas Lech Lecha, it says, you are going to bring a blessing to the world. We bring blessing to the world through our humility, through not being greedy, through not being lustful. And these things are so central in our life that we understand that if we are the disciples of Avraham Avinu, we want to bring a blessing to the world, these are the values we have to engage in fully. And these are the values that we teach in all the yeshivot and Ulpanot Bnei Akiva throughout the land. And our soldiers just now, we still have so many soldiers on the front lines, whether it's in Gaza, whether it's up north in Lebanon, and they go out of a sense of humility because we feel we've been sent by Am Yisrael and we're satisfied with what we have. Because I don't know if you know, but in the army one doesn't eat and one doesn't sleep and one doesn't. The conditions are not that great at all. And we're doing it out of a sense of purpose, out of a sense of purpose that we're fighting the evil. We're fighting against those who are trying to curse us, and we want to bring a blessing to the world. And hopefully, Mitzvah Hashem, we should be all zoche, always to bring blessing to the world. Shabbat Shalom.